What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and as you can see, we have reached an unlock MUT level 70. I put the video out as soon as possible. Once we in the stream, we figured out what was going on with that specific challenge. I put it out for you guys. Definitely check that video out if you're not at MUT level 70. Shout out to all of you guys that are already MUT level 70 in less than 3 hours. You guys are savages. Like I said, I cannot compete with you guys when it comes to getting these MUT levels, but what I can do is give you guys the blueprint that we all come up with and get it out there. That way you guys are rocking and rolling. But like I said, the most beautiful thing that I've been blessed to do is give you guys the content to, grow your team and make your team better and go out there and just dominate your opponents. So now, once you reach MUT level 70, the number one question is, Gmia, what's going on? What are the best players possible to go ahead and use that Powerup pass on? Now, this is what I want to make sure everybody understands. It's very easy to just go into the auction browser and then you can pretty much go to the program and you could look at certain certain things that would have higher overall cards. For instance, like limited editions, right? You'll go there and they typically have those higher overall cards. So you can just go there, browse it, see what's going on. There was a time that Amari Cooper was really good, obviously because he was a route runner, he got suitable speed, blah, blah, blah. Cooper Kupp, he was never somebody that people sought after. Chandler Jones, I don't know why they released him. Aaron Rodgers, him being an improviser similar to Tony Romo, a lot of you guys had an issue with him for that. And let me just go ahead and touch base on that for those of you guys that watched the video about Tony Romo being the best quarterback in Madden 21 Ultimate Team. Statistically, he's the best quarterback. I didn't go into the abilities because he's an improviser. That is a mistake that EA made him an improviser, but he was an improviser. So I can't get mad at EA for giving him the archetype, but numbers-wise, he's the best QB in the game, just standard. That was my point. Did I say I was going to use him? No, because I don't have a Cowboys theme team and he wouldn't work well on my team. But if you look at the numbers, the way that I detailed it, numbers don't lie, bro. That guy's numbers are ridiculous in every threshold. Now, once you go gunslinger, you don't go back. You know what I'm saying, bro? You just don't go back. And that's pretty much what it was. But anyway, like I was saying before, Aaron Rodgers is obviously a 90, so you'd have been able to get him before, but I'm just pointing it out that, usually in the limited areas, you would be able to see some of the cards that many people are going after. All right, so this is where I would kind of dabble in first. You can obviously go after the 50 players as well. Darren Waller is one of those guys that many of you guys are going to say, you know what, Gmia, I've been waiting for this card. I want to save it and get him for free utilizing the Powerup pass. I tried him. I didn't like the card, primarily because, he's 6'6" and can't jump. EA Sports has made the game so the players can't jump, so he can't really moss dudes the way that I like. It's so night and day based on Madden 20 to 21. But again, if you run those crossers, which is like the #1 offensive play in Madden 21, he meets all the thresholds. I just don't know if that's going to be somebody that you want to put your Powerup pass on, because he may not give you everything that you need. But listen, remember, the value of the card is what really matters. So if you're starting to look at it like, say, Matthew Stafford, that's saving you $300K for his final card because you got the Powerup pass, right? So that's something that you could consider. Micah Hyde, that dude is garbage, and a lot of you guys told me that. I wanted to try him out, but you guys told me he was trash. Devin McCourty is a card that I really, really liked. Unfortunately for me right now, I don't really need him because I'm going to keep Ed Reed and Taylor Mays will do what I want. But, he has a very, very, his numbers are wild. 99 zone, and he gets to a 95-man coverage with lockdown max. He's probably one of the better cards. But like I told you guys, I would use him as a corner and just run zone coverage and then give him like an ability, like a mid zone or a flat zone, because he's going to play everything the same way that Deion Sanders would play it, just based off the numbers. The only issue is if you play somebody that has really, really good speed, you're going to get burnt deep depending on how if you didn't shade over the top, et cetera, because that 94 speed is what he would be with Sprinter. Obviously, if you have a theme team, he would go up to 96. But like I said, regardless of how you think about it, Deion Sanders is still really killing it out there in these streets because he gets to a 97 speed. So as much as I want to get rid of him, I can't. There's no way, because he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't get off the block for RPOs. He's just a savage, dude, but his numbers are so wild. Either way, I'm running nickel now, so I'm just blitzing him every play. He's usually coming in and just like, yo, what's good? That's usually what he's doing. I'm not doing anything else out of the ordinary because pretty much if you try to send two and stuff like that, people will dot you now because it's become kind of popular. You know, you guys have been watching like some of the competitive Madden, and many of you guys that I played against a couple guys during the weekend that was sending 1 and sending 2, and they were getting instant pressure. So I had to go back to the lab and figure out a few things, and now I'm able to, you know, I got to take my underneath stuff. The purpose of that defense is nickel and dime, so that when you get to the red zone, they can lock up and then you get a field goal. So it's just to slow you down, and a lot of us don't have patience. I had to learn patience because that's something that you have to do when dudes are sending 1 and 2. All right, so now with that being the case, what are we going to do next, right? Looking at this card, I think for the money, he's probably the best available card at that 92. All right, this is my personal opinion. If you're struggling on defense and you want a player that's going to make plays, his value at 500K is ridiculous. Okay, because you're saving that, and like I said, I would not play him at safety. I would play him at corner, and I would run various zone coverages. For those of you guys that have subscribed to GmiasWorld Gaming, you've probably been seeing that I've been, you know, experimenting with putting the safeties back at corner the way I used to do in Madden 18 because they actually shed. But this guy, he's not as strong as Taylor Mays and them boys, so he's not going to be able to get off the block. I don't know if they're going to show the other ones. No, they don't really show the strong safeties, but pretty much what's happening is he doesn't really have the numbers to get off the blocks. So because he doesn't have the numbers, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a huge situation that, you know, you're going to have to probably deal with. This is not something that's easy to kind of consider because when you use the Powerup pass, yeah, it's free, but there are so many other options, and I want to do and recommend what's best for your specific team. So if you don't have a problem at corner, if you're not getting roasted like peanuts, then you don't have to worry about Devin McCourty. You could just use somebody else temporarily and just see what happens. Hold up, what is this? His price went back up? Oh no, that's the limited version. The Redux is cheaper. I think I got the Redux. But anyway, these are the actual limited. So, you know, Devin McCourty doesn't have a Redux yet. This guy, Denzel Ward, does. He's still on the squad, by the way. So that's just some of the stuff that I wanted to like really point out to you guys. And, you know, hopefully you guys consider that's a very important thing. These are my 2 top players. You know, as far as Marlon Humphrey and stuff like that, and remember, when you go to Reduxes will show you, you don't have to go too crazy because you'll see a dramatic price drop with the Redux, which is just certain versions of the cards that were out earlier. We could go over the quality of 91. Let's go 91 here. Okay, that's 90 to 91. Let me just go to 92 so that way we can see what's actually there right now. Why did I just go to 88 to 89? Yeah, dude, my brain is just not working. All right, so 92, so we can see the max number, right? All right, once that loads up, whenever EA decides to do it. Okay, so now you start to see the 92s. Now you see how lower the prices are, but they're still the same card. This is why I'm saying, like, the limiteds that are not available right now, you should probably, if you wanted to utilize them, go and check them out using the Powerup pass. That is completely an option that you guys can consider if that's what you want. But to me, Darren Waller and you know, McCourty are probably your best options. Please feel free to leave the feedback because as a community, we can look at it and kind of say, okay, maybe that guy's better, maybe that guy's better. But for my individual team, it doesn't make sense for me to get Devin McCourty. All right, but because I was struggling defensively, I made some adjustments to my squad, and you know, that's just something that I wanted to make sure that you guys understood because, like I said, utilizing this Powerup pass is unbelievably, it's very, very important because number one, you're saving a lot of coin. Number two, by the time the card goes down in value, you can buy it back later, and then it doesn't really affect your pockets as far as like running after a card as soon as it's there, you know, in the open market or whatever. So those are just some of the things that I wanted to point out to you guys. Now, Darren Waller, right? For those of you guys that were saying, you know, Gmia, yo, is he really worth it? You know, is he a good card? I'm not going to sit here and tell you like that's a definite. I'm not going to tell you that McCourty's a definite, but I will show you what's going on with the squad right now. I don't need I don't need Darren Waller because I think Vernon Davis is better. That's my opinion. I know he's a Niner and everything like that, but what I get from him, the dude's a monster and he's super fast. He's pretty much a receiver at tight end. And I told you guys when he was released, EA did a very good job with him because many of us that watched him play, that's what he was. He was a burner. If you Google this guy, he's outrunning corners. So that was realistic at this point in the game to let him max out at a 93 speed. So he already beats on Darren Waller because Darren Waller goes to 90. Obviously with the Raiders theme team, he's a 92, but he already beats out Darren Waller right there. So I would recommend, if you had a Niner theme team, to go with Vernon Davis, right? And then defensively, my corners are stacked and my safeties are stacked for the way I use them. So look, I got a free safety, Taylor Mays out of position, and I got Ed Reed. Those guys are more than enough. Ed Reed has 99 zone also. So for me, why would I get him to have him as an additional corner? And I know that he can't get off the block. Now, the thing about him is, you see how his weight is 200? I play him at corner, right? And where's his block shed? Let me just show you guys what's going on. He doesn't really have the numbers, like the 65 is not really that good, but he's better than any corner that I was using before. So McCourty's going to be lower. I didn't check McCourty's, but I know McCourty's going to be lower. The reason that I play Taylor Mays at corner right now, and like I said, I'm experimenting going back to what I used to do back in Madden 18 because the RPOs are a nightmare and the corners just don't get off. Taylor Mays gets right off, but he's 236 pounds. Let's check his block shed real quick. His block shed is 80, so that's a really big thing, and then he has enough zone coverage to be able to play off of that. So the block shed systematically is going to help you stop those stupid RPOs because the guys will shed quicker. So that's just an option that you guys would want to, consider and figure out what's going on. As far as the 50 players, you guys can go through all of those players and check those out. But those are just two of the players that stood out because, Brett Favre at a 92, his price has dropped tremendously. A lot of the other, Dante Culpepper, these guys have dropped. So I don't want to say, oh yeah, bro, try these guys out. No, because the value's not there. But if it's a card that you were waiting on and that's something that you want to do, then you go for it and you get it done. I don't have to tell you, like, bro, this is what I want you guys to do. If you like something and you want to take a risk on it, just take the risk. If you lose, you lose. But this guy's 142K. Why would you use that when there's cards of other value? Unless it's a card that you really, really want to use. That's the only other, it's no other objection to it. Like, is there another card? Like, Brett Favre right now to use that Powerup pass is useless. But those other two cards still have relatively decent value where you can go out in the game and they can actually help you to win games. So those are just my thoughts on those players. Whichever route you decide to go, let me know. We can share it in the comments, talk about it. But like I said, Darren Waller and McCourty right now at this time, probably valuable for most teams. And you probably don't have the coins to afford it. So this can be a way for you to get it right now. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You have an unbelievable day. One love, y'all.